First morning, I slept pretty well even though the mattress is rather hard. The shower is also, well, not too cold and it's warm anyway. Yeah, there's literally no difference being inside versus outside because the windows are all open and they're just mosquito nets, which makes the mosquitoes really bearable. And just as I stepped out, I witnessed my first raid of the Matabele ant, Megaponera analis, the reason I came here. These ants exclusively feed on termites, whose nests they raid in groups of hundreds or even a couple thousand individuals. Every raid is led by a scout ant who steers the rest towards the termite nest she has discovered earlier. When the group comes close to the potential food site, the ants in the front slow down and the troop consolidates. And then, on some signal we haven't identified yet, the whole army suddenly storms onto their unknowing victims, breaking open the thin nest walls and killing any termite they can find with a swift sting. Once no more living termites can be found, the dead bodies are then collected and the raid marches home again. But I cannot follow this spectacle for too long, since I am about to join a short field excursion with the group of students from the University of Würzburg into a nearby gallery forest. First find, this is a leopard track, still relatively fresh. Ah, the smells. These are Echophila longinoda, weaver ants. These have really good eyesight, are very aggressive, and live in nests of leaves, which they weave together with the silk of their own larvae. Alright, second day here. After the excursion this morning, I took a little nap after lunch, and now I am waiting in front of a nest of a Megaponera, waiting for ants to come out. And I am preparing equipment, gimbal with some laser pointer that I gotta attach now. And there's already a compass mounted to that camera because I'm going to try to film the ants with this camera first, and then also try others that I brought with me. Now it's just about surviving the mosquitoes and waiting. People are enjoying themselves up there. So the ants didn't really want to go out today because it's too hot, and yesterday was a pretty good day, so they are not really wanting to go out raiding for some food. That's why I can enjoy the sunset here and talk a little bit about this. Ah! How amazing is this? Man, I'm just thinking, I'm slowly arriving here and it's just been a blast. First time Africa, first time in the, well, subtropics. Wow, I'm blown away that I am actually standing here now, where I have always seen these kind of sceneries in documentaries that I've been watching as a small child for years and years. At one point I estimated that I had watched about 2,000 to 2,500 documentaries about nature and technology in my life. And those nature documentaries were always my favorite ones. And hence the first dream job of mine was to become a nature documentary filmer in the Amazon forest. And this is as close as it gets. So, I mean, just look at this. This is literally a life dream coming true. Yeah, that's also why I really enjoyed that gallery forest trip that we had today. And I will enjoy my time here very much, I'm sure. This, by the way, is the Comoé River. giving the national park its name. I'm sure that I will take a swim in there at some point, or multiple points during my stay here. Transcribing data into a spreadsheet.
Het is 7:45.
A stalk-eyed fly. The males decide who gets the female by measuring who has the longer eye stalks. And here another ant raiding termites. These are tiny Phaidoli, or big-headed ants. I guess everything likes termites.
We started shortly past 7 this morning, but as of now, still no forager, no scout has come out. For the nest, no activity, and it should be great conditions weather-wise, but yeah, I think now we're gonna have to search for another nest. Well, that's field work. We've been searching for over half an hour now, still no luck. Just wish I had a little bit more of my results so that I knew how to maybe optimally search in this scenario. Yeah, it's kind of ironic that I'm trying to research the optimal search behavior of ants, and now I'm trying to optimally search for ants.
Because I'm not so much interested in the raids of these ants, but more in the question of how the ants find the termite nests in the first place. Because before every raid, the leaders have to have scouted out where there are worthwhile termite nests in order to lead the raid there. And we knew and still know very little about how each ant searches and how they coordinate among each other.
Finally, found 2.
One thing we don't know a lot about in any ant species actually is how dangerous foraging or just being outside is. These ants are falling prey to a few other arthropods like these bugs here. You can see the stinging mouth parts, which are a defining feature of true bugs, making them clearly discernible from beetles with their biting and chewing mouth parts. In order to have a somewhat clear view of the ants from above so that I can film them, we had to first clear the area surrounding our observational nests from the tall grass, which was, as expected, quite an exercise.
I don't think I've ever felt that much sweat running down the back of my head. These little fella here, called sweat bees. For a reason. Okay, the plan is now that we are first going to take a shower, and I think I'm going to jump into the Comoé river first. Then we're going to come back, try to mark a few scouts again if there is activity at all, and then we're going to hark that grass away tomorrow in the morning before the activity starts, and then hopefully I can take some videos of the marked or also unmarked scouts tomorrow and the first activity bout already.
And for the teacher, it's the same. There's only one.
I think what might be a big issue is nowadays a lot of people in Africa are getting like a primary education.
I guess everything likes termites.
Yes, even though we are in the middle of nowhere somewhere in Africa, we still have internet here from the satellites, so I'm very much looking forward to Starlink. Anyway, but of course it is really slow, so it is very unfortunate if you want to upload some videos, as I want to do, and currently I'm offline again. So for a 15-minute video for test purposes that I took, and I downsample it a little bit so that it is not as big, it still takes about an hour or so of process to upload the video. And I need to upload them so that some computer vision people that I'm also collaborating with can take a look at with their tracking software. I got to those people through a contact on another conference that I went to this spring break. So I just sat down, for dinner with some people, and we talked about what I'm doing, and they said, hey, we know some people at our university that do exactly this. And then they gave me the information, I contacted them, and yes, it's exactly what I want people to have done. And this is what some of the preliminary results look like of videos of other people filming ants. The problem with that software though is that it's not quite finished yet. So this is just an alpha version, and so it works a little bit, but there is a lot of drift, which means that over longer distances the tracking becomes very inaccurate. And so if the ant is just walking for 10 meters, then the algorithm thinks it walked for 50 meters. And so there is still some testing to be done and implementing other features, which is the project of a PhD student at the University of Münster, where the team is that I'm collaborating with. And they promised that right around now, in the middle of May, they will have implemented this new, better module, and so they can test this on the new videos that I have actually done in the field, how they will be looking like. The complete finished version might be out in fall this year or even just later. So yeah, currently I'm more or less filming into the blue and hoping that everything will just work fine with the software. Yeah, but still it's a little bit concerning. I just hope that in the future, with AI and everything, we can do miracles.